The rubber game of a three-game set. Welcome to Bainton Field in Piscataway, New Jersey for RVision, presented by AT&T and Rutgers Scarlet Knights baseball. Today, the Cincinnati Bearcats at 13-20, 2-9 in the Big East. Visit Rutgers at 15-16 and 7-4 in conference. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Livingston campus. Fred Hill, the 30th-year head coach of the Scarlet Knights, leading Rutgers against Cincinnati in a rubber game today. Jay, yesterday, as Danny Breslauer and Jay Goldstein are with you, the Scarlet Knights split a doubleheader with Cincinnati, 6-1 in Game 1 before falling 3-2 in Game 2.
Yeah, Rob Small with a huge bounce-back performance, winning in Game 1. Tyler Gebler kept them in the game in Game 2, not allowing a run past the fourth inning. The bats just were not clicking in the second game, which forced today's rubber game. Should be a very interesting end to this series as the Scarlet Knights look to win their fourth straight series against the Bearcats with a win today.
Rutgers all-time 15-6 against the Cincinnati team that had a rough start to Big East play. Comes from an excellent facility out at Marge Schott Stadium in the Queen City, but since that early start in Big East play, they have rebounded. They took a win over Xavier last week, and for the Bearcats, led by 17th-year head coach Brian Cleary, Jay, they were able to get a little bit of confidence out of Game 2 yesterday.
They did, and that forced that rubber game today. And if you look at the Big East standings, tightening up, Rutgers went into that doubleheader just one game back of Louisville and USF, but with both Louisville and USF getting wins on Friday and Rutgers splitting it, they are now a game and a half back of that top spot. So a win today put them right back in the race.
Cincinnati, which comes into today with this lineup. They'll have Christian McElroy pitching, the redshirt junior draft pick of the Cincinnati Reds, but he opted to stay at the school. Ethan McAlpine will play center and leadoff. Forrest Perrin will play right field and hit second. Justin Glass, preseason first-team All-Big East, plays left field and hits third. Ian Happ at short will clean up. Devin Wenzel at first base hits fifth. Brendan Neal DHs and hits sixth, while Woody Wallace will catch in the 7th spot. Ryan Quinn at third in the 8th spot, and Colin Hawk rounds out the starting lineup at second base. Here comes Rutgers into the field, led by Charlie Law to the hill, and Rutgers veteran hurler, the former Philadelphia Phillies draft pick out of Mainland Regional High School, the senior at 6'8", 250. Jay, a struggle against Seton Hall last weekend, but for Charlie Law, he's someone who can bring a plethora of pitches to the table.
Well, absolutely. Charlie Law didn't quite get the job done last week in his last Sunday start against the Pirates, going 6 innings with 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 2 hits batsman. He's also batting 7th in the lineup today, so look for Law to have a strong bounce-back performance today.
One of 20 players in the nation that does what Jay just alluded to. That means pitch and hit in the DH spot on the same day, but Law will do that for Rutgers. Going around the infield for the Scarlet Knights today, it'll be Matt Tietz at third with Pat Sweeney at short, Nick Favatella at second, Bill Herman at first. Jeff Malillo will call balls and strikes for Charlie Law behind the plate. Left to right in the outfield, Vinny Zerillo, Brian O'Grady, and Steve Zavala. A very windy day at Bainton Field, as you can hear in the background here in mid-April as the Scarlet Knights play one of their Big East home weekend series, still UConn and Georgetown to visit Piscataway. Scott Bova will be the home plate umpire today, along with Harry Greer and Tom Scartozzi. Scartozzi at third and Greer at first. Jay, keys for Charlie Law today as Ethan McAlpine steps in.
I would say control with the 2-hit batsman against Seton Hall. You can't have that, especially in conference play, so he needs to settle down early. Not worry about what he needs to do at the plate, hitting 7th in the lineup. Just concentrate on pitching, getting the Scarlet Knights through this game.
McAlpine, the redshirt sophomore, hometown boy out of Cincinnati and Moeller High School. Charlie Law deals ball one outside. McAlpine, 281 hitter, making his 18th start today. The 1-0 from Law is away, 2-0. Charlie Law, one of RU's big-time recruits 4 years ago. Law, drafted by the Philadelphia Phillies, opted for an entire career in college, and he has been Rutgers' Sunday starter for the last 2 years. And, Jay, there's the control that we spoke about as he falls behind 3-0.
Yeah, you could put that on the wind. It is very windy today, but if you're Law, you really need to try and settle down and put one in the strike zone.
Charlie's 3-0. Outside corner, strike one. Law 2-3 on the year, a 6.12 ERA, slightly inflated due to the last 2 weeks. Making his 9th appearance and start, and hits the outside corner to fill the count up.
Nice job by Law getting back into the count, now full at 3-2, but McAlpine, excellent patience at the plate.
Full count pitch. McAlpine chops it away. Finishing up Law's line, 42 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 53 hits, 29 earned runs, but a 3-1 strikeout to walk ratio at 45-15. The full count offering. Ground ball towards second. Easy for Favitella on the short hop. 1 away.
Good job by Law to really battle back into that at-bat. Falling behind in the count 3-0, able to work that back and get McAlpine to ground out to second.
Number 7, Forrest Perrin.
Forrest Perrin steps in, the freshman infielder from Strongsville, Ohio. And for Brian Cleary's team, he's trying to rebuild just a little bit. He went 18-38 a year ago, 7-20 in the Big East. And Law misses low with a fastball to Perrin. 7-13 in true road games for Cincinnati. That's a far cry from their 30-win season of 2011. This was a very consistent Bearcats program in the early portion of the decade. Teets snags the liner.
Beautiful play by Teets, who's been prone to some errors at third base standing. We've seen that in earlier games this year. Made a nice snag on that ball, hit well by Perrin.
First team All Big East, Justin Glass will step in. The junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana and Carroll High School. 6'2", 206 pounds. Glass, a .333 hitter, takes strike 1 from Law. Now Charlie, who fell behind 3-0 to Ethan McAlpine, the first hitter, works back to get him on a ground out, and Perrin on an early count line drive. Ahead on Glass. Make it 1-1. But Cincinnati, back in 2011, qualified for the Big East tournament for the 4th year in a row. And the Scarlet Knights have had some success against Cincinnati the better part of the last few years. Change up from Law, his first today, makes it 1-2.
And that was a good one as he got Glass to take a bit of a weak hack to swing and miss.
Glass, a big-time OBP guy, even out of the 3 spot, a .381 on-base percentage, and he swings and misses at a changeup. So Charlie Law pulls the string and sits down Cincinnati 1-2-3 in the first after a half an inning. No score, and Rutgers coming to bat on RVision, presented by AT&T.
On the mound for the Cincinnati Bearcats with a 4.67 ERA and a 2.30 win-loss record. Right-hander number 49, Christian McElroy.
Christian McElroy will be the starting pitcher today for a Cincinnati team that comes in trying to win a Big East series for the first time this year. The redshirt junior at 6'4", 191 out of Middletown, Ohio, the transfer from Sinclair Community College, and he'll face this Rutgers Scarlet Knights lineup. Matt Teets playing third, hitting first. Nick Favitella and the 2-hole Brian O'Grady, the center fielder, hits third. Vinny Zerillo cleaning up, playing left field. Jeff Willow, the catcher, in the 5 spot. Then Steve Zavala, Charlie Law pitching and DHing, Bill Herman and Pat Sweeney.
McElroy with a ERA of almost 4.67, as you said, Danny. Rutgers needs to get to him early and often, try and rattle him a bit here in the early going.
It'll be Matt Tietz, Scarlet Knights freshman out of West Milford, New Jersey. Pope John the 23rd, one of the Sussex County kids, and there are a few on Rutgers, and including one on Cincinnati and Ryan Quinn. And they all got together before the game, took a nice picture. Reunion of all the Sussex County baseball players between the Scarlet Knights and the Bearcats. Tietz ahead 2-0 quickly on Christian McElroy, the 32nd round pick of the Cincinnati Reds after last season. And just like Law fell behind 3-0, McElroy does the same to the first batter.
Well, it's good to see a freshman leadoff batter exercising patience at the plate, not looking to swing at anything too early and just seeing what he has to offer here this afternoon.
The 3-0 is low. A 4-pitch walk for Matt Tietz, and often Fred Hill, Rutgers head coach, will tell you patience obviously important for his leadoff guys, but he'll have his best hitter up there every time.
Only the 16th walk of the season for McElroy, but that was great by Tietz, getting an early base runner with no runs. We'll see if Favatello tries to move him over here, play a little small ball.
Well, that is moose ball, as they say, the nickname of Fred Hill. Oftentimes they will try to move runners over in any way possible, often by the bunt and run. Tietz on first, and McElroy facing Favatello. No bunt, breaking ball low. For Christian McElroy, 2-3, 4.67 ERA, making his 9th start and 10th appearance. Has thrown just 34 2/3 innings, giving up 44 hits. The 1-0. Missed low again, 6 straight balls from McElroy, who has struck out 24 and walked 16 on the year. Has hit 12 batters as well and giving up a 3.01 opponent batting average. Facing Nick Favatello, the junior from Washington Township. First strike for McElroy.
Finally found that strike zone. You saw the catcher for the Bearcats, Woody Wallace, setting up right, dead center. McElroy was able to hit him for the first strike. Favatello still ahead in the count, though.
273 hitter for Favatello, much better than that over the course of the last month and a half. The 2-1, make it 2-2. Favatello has started all 32 games this year, and his consecutive start streak inches towards 120 games.
It's incredible.
2 home runs, 11 RBIs as well. Tietz is on first with nobody out in the first. And Favatello down looking as McElroy paints the outside corner.
Followed up 6 straight balls with 3 straight strikes there to get Favatello looking. A little surprised there, Danny. He didn't show bunt once.
He didn't. Today, Fred Hill more inclined to allow the top of his lineup, which is so strong, in Tietz, Favatello, O'Grady, Zerillo, Malillo, to have good looks at McElroy the first time through. Brian O'Grady steps in. Hit his first home run of the year last weekend against Seton Hall. And fouls that one away. O'Grady, 274, a home run, 14 RBIs, on base percentage of .388 for the Scarlet Knights, junior from Warminster, Pennsylvania. No score, bottom 1 between Rutgers and Cincinnati in a rubber game of a 3-game set here at Bainton Field in Piscataway. McElroy will check on Tietz, who sees that one scoot up the right field line. Not far enough.
It's a wise choice by the freshman, not trying to take second, respecting the arm of Wenzel.
Yesterday, a very interesting case study when it comes to doubleheaders. Rob Samorel, an excellent outing of 7 1/3 for Rutgers in Game 1. So Grady has the count even at 1. Then Rutgers gets a complete game in Game 2, the game they lose, from Tyler Gebler, as he's inching up towards the number 1 spot in innings all time at Rutgers, and the man he's chasing is his pitching coach, Casey Gaynor. The 1-1 with 1 out. In the dirt through the legs of Wallace, and Tietz will take second, heads up on a passed ball.
And the wind definitely having an effect on both pitchers here. We saw a couple of pitches come through to the backstop where we're sitting. Bit of location issues.
That one should go on Wallace. That hit him in the gloves, snuck through. Woody Wallace, the catcher today for the Bearcats, a freshman out of Lewis Center, Ohio. Now O'Grady, runner in scoring position with 1 out. And he's ahead in the count 3-1. Brian O'Grady had a hitting streak in the teens heading into the Seton Hall series last weekend, had it broken in a 15-1 loss in the series opener. The 3-1, and O'Grady reaches as it's the second walk of the inning for McElroy, who in 34 innings prior to this had just 15 walks.
And this is not a good situation, Danny, for McElroy, as the Scarlet Knights have their best hitter, average-wise, coming up to bat, Vinny Zerillo, hitting .350 with 2 runners on, trying to get Rutgers an early lead here.
Zerillo, coming into the weekend, also was hitting .419 in Big East games. His average is a team-best .350 for the sophomore from Forked River, New Jersey. And down the line and foul. Joe Laterio not even flinching, the third base coach, as that one scoots to the left of the foul line.
If that ball went fair, what would have been trouble?
There's been a lot of room down that line as Glass is playing Zerillo more toward the gap. Now he shifts back over to normal depth. First and second, 1 out, and McElroy upstairs.
Woody had to kind of reach out to snag that one way upstairs. Good to see Rutgers threatening, though, in the first inning.
Just the second weekend series of the season for Rutgers, Seton Hall being the first. Zerillo had 2-1. Rutgers has won the last 3 series against the University of Cincinnati. They first met back in 2006 when the Bearcats joined the Big East Conference from Conference USA, and they'll both be a part of the American Athletic Conference next year before Rutgers goes on to the Big Ten. Zerillo into left field, a base hit. Laterio will wave home teats. The throw from Glass will be behind. RBI single for Vinny Zerillo, and Rutgers takes a 1-0 lead.
That's exactly what Rutgers wanted. 2 runners on, 1 out. Their best hitter up, and Zerillo delivers with a ribby single. O'Grady tried to round second, saw the throw coming in from left field, and opted to stay at second base. But nonetheless, the Scarlet Knights off to a fantastic start here in the bottom of the first.
Excellent start, as it's Zerillo's 17th RBI of the year, and he improves on his .430 on-base percentage. Jeff Melillo, preseason All-Big East catcher, steps in for Rutgers. The senior from Annandale, New Jersey, graduate of North Hunterdon, Christian McElroy, has struggled to find the zone with Rutgers up 1-0 bottom 1.
The Scarlet Knights doing a great job not swinging too early. So Hamstrand Favatello looking for the only out so far.
O'Grady on second, Zerillo on first. The pitch to Melillo, changeup. Got him out in front. Count is even at 1.
That's arguably McElroy's best pitch of this first inning. Got him a little whiff there.
Sit back and get yours.
Jeff Melillo, perhaps Rutgers' most accomplished hitter coming into this season. Hitting .288 this year. The 1-1 from McElroy is inside. Last year, named to the Johnny Bench Award Watch list for most outstanding catchers in all the nation. Great at keeping base runners at bay, too. He has thrown out 38% of base runners coming into the weekend. 2-1 to Melillo. Changeup is on the inside corner. Former second-team All-Area pick by the Courier News during his time at North Hunterdon. His older brother Michael starred at Elon University, also a catcher. Elon actually taking on Louisville yesterday in out-of-conference play. The 2-2. Melillo offering, no, checked his swing. Full count with 1 out. Now Fred Hill can get creative with runners on first and second.
That's a very good check by Melillo. Just the upper body strength it takes to do that.
Tough wrists. 1 run in on a Vinny Zerillo single, bottom of the first. Rutgers leads Cincinnati 1-0 in the rubber game of 3 between these two Big East sides. Both runners go. Melillo fouls it straight back.
Heads up base running there by both O'Grady and Zerillo.
That call's coming from Laterio at third. He's calling the go clearly. Jeff Melillo does not strike out often. And for that reason, just 17 this year, they feel confident to send both. They don't go this time, and Melillo fouls it away.
Would have been number 18 there, Dan. He was just able to get a piece of that off the tip of the bat, keeping this alive.
Mentioned Rob Samorel yesterday, 7 1/3 of one-run ball. Left-hander scattered 8 hits, 2 walks over a 128-pitch outing. Got Rutgers a 6-1 win. The runners go this time. Melillo fouls it off just a piece. It gets through Wallace's legs.
Rutgers definitely making McElroy work in here in this first inning.
For Samorel yesterday, as Melillo is alive again for a third full count pitch. It was his 21st career win for Rob Samorel. That's a tie for 4th in school history with Noel Gluck, who pitched here from 1985 to 88. They don't go this time. Melillo will keep the at-bat going.
Once again, just trying to make contact, fouling it off, making McElroy work.
Melillo, not one of the 4 Scarlet Knights that had 2 hits in Game 1 yesterday. That went to Teets, Fabatella, O'Grady, and Law. Charlie Law, today's starting pitcher and DH. Full count, 1 out. Melillo strikes out swinging as McElroy goes up the ladder for his second K of the inning.
It was a nice delivery there by McElroy. Melillo made him work for that strikeout, though. He earned it, fouling 3 pitches off before finally going down swinging. And forgot doesn't strike out much. Lengthy at bat.
Christian McElroy, who started the season in the ace spot, but because of issues of his own, has become the Sunday starter. 32nd round pick after last season. As Steve Zavala takes ball 1 low. The Rutgers left fielder, 301 hitter, making his 29th start. 2 home runs and 14 RBIs in a lengthy first inning after Charlie Law sat down Cincinnati 1-2-3. Rutgers in their 6th hitter making McElroy work. And Zavala head 2-0. Rutgers drew 10 walks in Game 1 yesterday.
Already with 2 here in this first inning.
Against Connor Walsh, the normal Friday starter for the Bearcats. We were to be with you on Friday afternoon, but Mother Nature got in the way. Lots of rain. Doubleheader was played yesterday while we were over at women's lacrosse for a 9-6 win over Villanova. And Zavala has a 3-0 lead in the count. O'Grady is on second. Vinny Zerillo, who had an RBI single, is on first. Matt Teets scored the run after a leadoff walk. 2 down here, bottom 1, Rutgers up 1-0. McElroy finds the plate.
Just got it in there for a called strike.
Cincinnati did rebound yesterday in Game 2, getting a 3-2 win despite Tyler Gebler's complete game. And ball 4. 3 walks in the first, 2 strikeouts in a very weird first inning for Christian McElroy.
Well, you said it. Rutgers earning 10 walks in their Game 1 yesterday in a win. 3 here in this first inning. And now Charlie Law up, Danny, with a chance to give himself a lead.
They say help your own cause in the NL. National Leaguers with the opportunity to hit and pitch. Charlie Law today taking that into his own hands. And swings and rips it down the left field line. Scoring is O'Grady, Zerillo as well. This will clear the bases as Steve Zavala chugs home. A bases clearing double for Charlie Law. And Rutgers leads 4-0.
And he helped his own cause, all right. Beautiful hit by Law right down the left field line. Able to clear the bases, and the Scarlet Knights are already up 4-0 here.
Charlie Law, who came in hitting .340 in addition to his pitching exploits. Rattles Christian McElroy with a rip down the line. 24th, 25th, and 26th RBIs of the year for Charlie Law to lead Rutgers by almost 10 ribbies. It's Bill Herman, the other 6'8" man in the lineup, fists one towards right. Tough play for Wenzel going back. He'll make it to end the inning. But Rutgers sends 8 batters to the plate. An RBI single from Vinny Zerillo and a 3 RBI double from Charlie Law. 4-0, Scarlet Knights after 1 on RVision, presented by AT&T.
Baseball is now on Twitter. In addition to following the program on ScarletKnights.com, be sure to follow the team on Twitter at BaseballRU for the latest news. Fans can keep up to date with all Rutgers athletics via Twitter at RU Athletics. You can also become a fan of the Scarlet Knights on Facebook at Facebook.com/Rutgers Athletics.
Time for the second inning. Charlie Law, the RU starting pitcher, helping himself with a 3 RBI double out of the DH spot in the bottom of the first to go along with a Vinny Zerillo RBI single. It's Rutgers 4, Cincinnati nothing as we go to the top of the second in the rubber game of this 3-game set. Danny Breslauer, Jay Goldstein with you on RVision, presented by AT&T. And Jay, Charlie Law now has a team best 12 RBIs in Big East play.
Absolutely. Followed up a 1-2-3 first inning with a bases-clearing double. Give himself quite the nice lead here.
Ian Happ will take strike 1 from Law, the shortstop for Cincinnati, a .325 hitter, 2 home runs and 21 RBIs.
One of the bigger hitters on this team.
Ground ball towards Sweeney. Tough in between hop, good throw. And Bill Herman, an easy target at 6'8", 1 away.
As I was saying before he made contact on the ball, your power hitter. This team does not hit a lot of home runs. They really like to, manufacture runs via small ball or moose ball, if we were talking about Rutgers. But, a lot of these swinging early, these Law pitches.
Charlie Law, who has a propensity to get up in the pitch count. Cincinnati not letting him do that after the opening hitter when he fell behind 3-0 to McAlpine. He's retired the first 4. Devin Wenzel, the first baseman in for Cincinnati, the freshman. Very young Bearcats team from Blandon, Pennsylvania is Wenzel, and he's ahead 2-0. 273 hitter, Cincinnati's best power threat, 3 home runs and 24 RBIs. Top RBI producer as well. And Wenzel fouls it away.
Look for Cincinnati to be a little more aggressive here, Danny. Already in a 4-run hole. Trying to come back and somehow get back into this game.
Charlie Law's 3 RBI double, Vinny Zerillo's RBI single, the 4 spot in the first as Wenzel's ahead 3-1. And despite the young 2012 Bearcats' struggles in the win-loss column, going 18-38 last year, 3 Bearcats pitchers were drafted. And Law will lose Wenzel for the first Cincinnati base runner, just his 16th walk of the year for Charlie Law. And it will bring up Brendan Neal. But back to that point, as Malillo will talk to Law. Jay, they had Zach Isler, Christian McElroy, who we're seeing here today, and outfielder Jake Proctor, taken in the Major League Baseball draft, while Justin Glass, who returns as a first-team All-Big East player, was not eligible because he was just after his sophomore year.
Right, but that just shows how good of a coach Brian Cleary is. Their struggles in the Milscom have no effect on the line to the pros. In Cincinnati, a couple guys going there.
Neal fouls it away, the designated hitter for Cincinnati. Junior from Festus, Missouri. Transfer from Jefferson College in the Show Me State. And Neal sends one out towards center. O'Grady a bit to his left for the second out.
Neal put a nice piece of bat on that. Couldn't get it to carry out far enough. O'Grady was right there to make the catch.
The catcher,
To your
number
point
10,
about what Brian Cleary has
Lee
established in
Wallace.
Cincinnati, and we know what Rutgers has here. Very consistent program, always around the top of the Big East standings over the past few years, and right now they sit in a log jam of the top 4 teams with Louisville, USF, and Connecticut. 2007 Big East champions were the Scarlet Knights, winning that in Brooklyn. Going on to the Charlottesville, Virginia region and losing to eventual national champions Oregon State. But Cincinnati, top 50 in the nation in attendance, as Woody Wallace, the catcher, is behind 0-1 after that foul ball. This is a Bearcats program that draws 1,200 fans a game to Marge-Shot Stadium. Interesting complex set up there if you've never been to that campus. Go over that in a moment. The 0-1 swung through by Wallace. It's 0-2. Jay, Fifth Third Arena, Nippert Stadium, Marge-Shot Stadium, their soccer complex, everything is right there. As if between the rack and Bainton Field, every complex is back to back to
Oh,
back.
absolutely. You get a lot of fan support there.
Law breaks off a curveball. His second strikeout in as many innings, and both of them end the inning. So Law walks Wenzel, but gets out of trouble after an inning and a half. 4-0 Rutgers on RVision, presented by
The
AT&T.
official Scarlet Knights app for iPhones and iPads. The app features live RVision video and audio of Rutgers sporting events and news conferences, and provides photos, news stories, schedules, social media, and ticket information. The app is now available at the App Store for Apple and on iTunes for $2.99.
Cincy also has an arena right next to Great American Ballpark.
Yeah, that's the U.S. Bank Center. The schools all that are downtown share that. And it's usually it's used more for like events.
Did you go to Cincy for...
Nothing Rutgers as we go to the bottom of the second inning. RU sent 8 to the plate in the first. There's the massive amounts of construction going on in the backdrop there on the Livingston campus. The cars out on the hill and the Rutgers Athletic Center in the background as well. So we're in Piscataway. Danny Breslauer and Jay Goldstein with you at Bainton Field. Fred Hill, the Rutgers 30th year head coach, 1,076 career wins. That's good for 13th among active coaches as Christian McElroy has Pat Sweeney line that one up the middle for a base hit. Sweeney, the Rutgers shortstop, picks up Rutgers' third hit in 2 innings.
Sweeney made no time wasted there. Swinging at the first pitch, lining one into the gap for a base hit, and already Rutgers, their second goal around here in their order.
Over 1,500 wins between these two coaches. 1,076 for Fred Hill. 425 for Brian Cleary, but Cleary has to be worried about that number 49 on the hill, Christian McElroy. Already 3 walks and 3 hits and 4 runs allowed, and Wallace blocks that one for ball 1. Teets, the Rutgers third baseman, walked and scored in his first at-bat last inning as Rutgers sent up 8 of the 9 hitters in their lineup.
And Teach showing bunt there, Danny. Second time through the order now.
And it's a good bunt. Down the first baseline, few hops to Wenzel, who will tag out Tietz. Moving on to second is Sweeney as Tietz does his job.
And already Rutgers in business, 1 out and a runner in scoring position. I think Moose wanted to wait to go through the order once just to see what McElroy has before opting to bunt, as Tietz walked on 4 pitches in the first inning. Favitella struck out looking, but didn't show bunt at all throughout that at-bat. I thought that was interesting.
Favitella had an RBI single in Game 1 yesterday, RBI triple in Game 2. He takes ball 1. Struck out looking in the first. It's one of 2 Christian McElroy Ks, interestingly, to go along with his 3 walks, 3 hits, and 4 runs allowed. On second is Sweeney, who singled to lead off this inning. McElroy, who Cincinnati fully expected to be their front-end guy this year, has had his share of struggles the past few weeks. The 2-0. Favitella can be very, very selective here.
It was a good block by Wallace, keeping that in the dirt. Had that gotten past him, Sweeney could have taken third.
Rutgers 1 full game behind Louisville and USF. They stand at 7-2. Both play out-of-conference series this weekend. Louisville against Elon, USF against Alcorn State. 3-0 to Favitella's ball 4. A little crossed up. That immediately will result in a mound visit for Christian McElroy.
His location is just not where it needs to be so far this afternoon. Already the 4th walk. His team losing 4-0.
Pretty remarkable here at his 9th start. Had 15 walks coming in and 4 walks now in an inning and a third.
I know it's only the 2nd inning, but you'd have to keep a bit of an eye on the Cincinnati bullpen.
No movement just yet.
Well, it's still early.
Brian O'Grady getting ready to hit, talking to Scott Bova, the home plate umpire, who will clean up the plate for him. O'Grady walked and scored, as did Tietz in the first. As Brian Cleary just wants to make sure that he's on the same page here with his starting pitcher, Christian McElroy. He'll head back to the dugout, got the answers he wanted. Cleary, the 17th year head coach who reached the 400 win plateau back on March 10th of 2012. McElroy will now stare in for signs against Brian O'Grady, one of Rutgers' most consistent hitters. 1 out in the second. And O'Grady, a ground ball towards short. Happ to Hawk for 1, on to first, a double play. So 1 pitch working out of trouble as McElroy in the 6-4-3 DP. The Scarlet Knights get 1 hit, and the double play ends it after 2, 4-0 Rutgers on RVision, presented by AT&T.
And be a part of history and meet us in beautiful Clearwater, Florida, from May 21st through May 26th for the 2015 Big East Baseball Championship, and cheer on your Rutgers Scarlet Knights as they battle for the right to represent the Big East Conference in this year's NCAA Regional. In Clearwater, Florida, recently named Florida's best beach town by USA Today, home to the 2013 Big East Baseball Championship, you'll enjoy a state-of-the-art ballpark, Wet House Stadium, spring training home to the Philadelphia Phillies. Visit BigEastBaseball.com for more Big East Championship information.
Other than that, he has faced 7 hitters through 2 innings, also has a 3 RBI double to his name, and Main reason why Rutgers leads Cincinnati 4-0 in the rubber game of a 3-game set. Scarlet Knights looking to improve to 8-4 in the Big East. And Cincinnati trying to distance themselves from Villanova at the bottom of the conference. Those two teams will go at it next weekend in the Queen City. Ryan Quinn against Charlie Law takes ball one high. The New Jersey native on this Cincinnati roster. Quinn, a junior from Sparta High School in Sussex County. Low strike on Law. That one was right at the knees. It looked a little on the low side of things to Quinn, and he's a .304 hitter, making his 12th start. Now 2-1, and in large part, I'd imagine, gets the start today, Jay, because of being home.
The lone Cincinnati player from the state of New Jersey.
Law hits the outside corner. Count is even at 2s. Charlie Law struck out Justin Glass, first-team All-Big East player to end the first, and then Woody Wallace to end the second. A 2-2 ground ball up the middle. Going to be a tough play for Sweeney, who knocked it down, kept it in the infield, and his throw will not be in time. An infield single for Ryan Quinn.
As I was coming into the complex this morning, I saw him being interviewed right behind the Cincinnati dugout, so obviously this is a big deal for him. How often do you get to play in your home state? When you go to school in Cincinnati, then you got to hit in his first at bat. Had to work for that one, but nice piece of hitting there by Quinn.
Cincinnati also takes on Seton Hall yearly, but as you said, it's not always at O&T Carroll Field up in South Orange. Ground ball toward third. Nice stop by Teets on Colin Hawk. The throw to second for one. They spin it. 5-4-3 DP.
That was a nice play by Teets to knock that down, prevent it from going in the gap. I thought they were just going to get the lead runner there, Danny, but they made a heads-up throw to first, and they got the double play.
It was Colin Hawk, the second baseman, that grounded that toward the freshman Teets. Heck of a stop. And then Favitella, the relay onto first. Lineup card turns over to Ethan McAlpine, and he chops it foul. So Charlie Law gives up the leadoff single to Ryan Quinn, but it's erased on some nice glove work from Matt Teets.
Taking the opposite approach from what Rutgers is doing, just hacking away early in the count.
Changeup flutters away in the wind, which picks up a bit in Piscataway.
I think Law was hoping that McAlpine would chase there.
Flags blowing out to left today. 1-1. McAlpine pulls back on the bunt, 2-1. We saw last weekend in Rutgers' victory over Seton Hall on Saturday, 7-5 win. A couple balls get caught up in that wind tunnel as Law's behind 3-1, including one from Favitella. Hit a long fly ball to left field that kind of looked like a lazy fly ball, kept taking off, found its way to the hill and left for a home run. And Law loses McAlpine. It is Charlie's second walk.
The right fielder, Forrest Heron.
Brian O'Grady also going yard in that game.
Right center field in the first inning. Forrest Perrin steps in. He lined out to Matt Teets at third in the first, and Law misses low. Forrest Perrin, the right fielder today for the Bearcats. Freshman from Strongsville, Ohio, hitting .210, making his 28th start. No home runs, 13 RBIs as Law checks on the runner, McAlpine. He has the ability to steal, does Ethan. 9 of 10.
Well, that's why Law keeps checking on him on first there. Always a good sign if your leadoff hitter has the ability to steal bases.
Well, not always a good sign, though, when your leadoff hitter has to reach with 2 outs, and that's what it was here. Teets this time off his glove. Sweeney makes the scoop, the throw, in time. 5-6-3 on the heads-up play by Pat Sweeney. Charlie Law works around a hit and a walk. Rutgers gives up nothing after a 2.5. Scarlet Knights 4, Bearcats 0 on RVision, presented by AT&T.
And as the Rutgers baseball program will be holding instructional camps in July and August this summer. The Scarlet Knights baseball camp was established to provide top-quality baseball instruction to players of all ages from the best coaches in all of New Jersey. Under the direction of Scarlet Knights head coach Brett Hill Every camper will go through a variety of lectures, drills, and games, and they will leave camp a better, more complete player. From Little League all the way up through high school, every attendee will learn how to play the game the way it was meant to be played. They'll be taught specific aspects of the game based on their own personal skill level. The majority of the activities exhibited in camp are the same practice routines and drills that Coach Hill uses with his own players here at Rutgers, where he has established this program to be among the nation's best.
Rutgers will send up 4, 5, and 6 in the third. Brian O'Grady grounded into a double play to end the second for the Scarlet Knights. But glove work, Jay Goldstein, the theme of the third inning for RU.
Yeah, Matt Teach really the catalyst there. Getting the knockdown on the double play ball, getting it over to Favatello really to first, then batting it over to Sweeney to get the third out.
Christian McElroy misses his spot low to Vinny Zerillo. Rutgers left fielder got the scoring going in the first inning with an RBI single. Part of a 4 spot from RU in the first as Zerillo leads in the count 2-0. Vinny, Rutgers' leading hitter, making his 32nd start in the 32nd game. .350 hitter, no home runs, 16 RBIs. That's off the glove of McElroy. Going to be a tough play as Zerillo's a quick one, infield single.
And Zerillo already 2 for 2. Nice piece of hitting. Grounded it back to McElroy. Wasn't able to get a hold of it, and then he beat the throw to first by a few steps.
Pitcher is a scary, scary position as Zerillo picks up his second hit. That was raked right back at McElroy.
You say pitchers get hit with comebackers all the time.
Another chance for Rutgers to move a runner over, but it is one of their best hitters in Jeff Melillo. He'll take ball one outside. He struck out in the first, one of 2 Scarlet Knights to do so against McElroy.
Had a long at bat though, fouled off 3 straight pitches on a full count.
RU's leader in home runs with 4 to go along with 17 RBIs. An OPS 864. Off goes Zerillo, got an outstanding jump, and it was hit and run, and it's foul. Zerillo has that stolen walking if Melillo takes, but hit and run on. Vinny has been very good on the base pass this year, actually perfect, 8 for 8. The 1-1 as Vinny Zerillo will stay, and curveball hangs, 2-1. Jeff Melillo made a name for himself on the summer circuit after last year hitting .311 with 57 hits and 4 homers. Fouls it back. His .985 fielding percentage as well at catcher made him well known during his 19-game hitting streak. A lot of scouts coming out last year to see how Jeff Melillo can play the position. One at the next level that is so coveted. Zerillo leading off at first. The 2-2's upstairs, and Melillo works it full for the second time in his 2 at-bats.
Yeah, Melillo really being one of the Scarlet Knights to make McElroy work. Seems to be settling down a bit location-wise.
Christian McElroy has gone 2+ innings, given up 4 hits and 4 runs, and walked 4. Throws over to check on Zerillo, and here with nobody out. And again, like we said before, I know Melillo struck out in the first, but he does not strike out often. And an opportunity to send Zerillo. Vinny does go. Fouled away down the third base line. Another long at bat for Jeff Melillo. Game 2 yesterday, the Cincinnati 3-2 win after Rutgers 6-1 in Game 1. But Tyler Gebler, only 103 pitches in his 7th career complete game. Zerillo stays put. Melillo down the first base line, giving Chase Wenzel toward the Rutgers bullpen. It's foul.
thing about Gebler yesterday, Danny, is he kept them in the game. Didn't allow a run after the 4th inning. Scarlet Knights made it 3-2, but could not get over the hump against the Bearcat bullpen.
Shutting the door, Andrew Stranga, working a perfect 9th for his 6th save of the year. Vinny Zerillo is on first base. Full count, nobody out. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Rutgers leads Cincinnati 4-0 with Jeff Melillo up in the rubber game of a 3-game set in Piscataway this weekend. Zerillo goes, and Melillo takes ball 4. Excellent at-bat from the Scarlet Knights senior catcher.
Yeah, 2 really good at-bats. I mean, the strikeout, yeah, you can understand that, but 2 long at-bats. I mean, honestly, I think McElroy's maybe spent 16 to 18 pitches just on Melillo in the first 3 innings. I just see somebody get up and go into the Seton Hall bullpen. Cincinnati bullpen. My mind is still on last weekend.
Seton Hall taking 2 of 3 from the Scarlet Knights here in Piscataway.
Well, that Saturday game we did, Danny, they went through 7 pitchers.
Yeah, 6 of them in about an inning and a third. Steve Zavala, a great chance to move runners over here. Zerillo on second, Melillo on first, and Cincinnati bullpen is getting very active. McElroy has struggled here through 2+. Steve Zavala walked and scored in the first, lays down a bunt foul. Kick save by Joe Laterio, the former Wagner head coach, now Scarlet Knights associate head in his 2nd season. Casey Gaynor in his 1st year as the pitching coach. Tim Riley his 2nd year as the volunteer assistant. Glenn Gardner, Beef, in his 23rd year as the director of baseball operations. Zavala looks at a curve, 0-2. Question is, do they have faith in Zavala to bunt with 2 strikes? There's the action in the Cincinnati bullpen in the form of Matt Ring, redshirt sophomore righty. The 0-2, Zavala will not bunt, and a great snag by McElroy. This could be a triple play. 1-6-3. Oh, McElroy with the stab, and it goes around the diamond. So the Scarlet Knights get a hit and a walk, but a triple play ends the 3rd. After 3, 4-0 Rutgers on RVision, presented by AT&T.
Be sure to listen to WRSU, the flagship radio home for Rutgers baseball. For scores, stories, and updates on all Rutgers University sports teams, check ScarletKnights.com for a listing of broadcasts that's exclusively for you on 88.7 FM, WRSU in New Brunswick, and online worldwide at WRSU.org.
Good to see you. A 1-6-3 triple play to end the 3rd as Charlie Law will come back out for inning 4 of work. Just 38 pitches through 3 for the Scarlet Knights senior hurler. But Jay, not often that you see a triple play at the college level. We saw one from the New York Yankees on Friday night, and here from the Cincinnati Bearcats on Christian McElroy. Had a ball go off his glove early on in the inning on a Zerillo hit, and that time Zavala lines it right back into his glove. It goes 1-6-3.
Well, turning a triple play, rare thing at any level.
Justin Glass takes strike 1 on a curve from Law. Glass, the left fielder for Cincinnati, struck out swinging in the first on a couple changeups. The .333 hitter has started every game, 23 RBIs. Fouls that one off his foot. Rutgers has given Christian McElroy trouble in all 3 innings he has operated. Put up a 4 spot in the first. Got a runner on in the second inning. Actually got 2 runners on before a double play ball. And then the end of the third, after their first 2 runners get on with the very rare triple play. But Charlie Law has been excellent. Just 1 hit, a couple walks in his 3+ innings of work as he's ahead 1-2 in the count.
Yeah, in 3 innings so far, we've seen a double play and a triple play by the Scarlet Knights and a double play by Cincinnati.
2-2's the count, and some excellent SID work on the Cincinnati end from Jeff Geiser coming over to tell us the last time Cincinnati turned to triple play, May 20th of 2005 against USF. As Glass goes down swing for the second time, it's Law's 3rd K.
Excellent pitch there on a 2-2 fastball by Charlie Law to get Glass swinging there.
8 years. Almost 8 years it has been since Cincinnati turned to triple play, and they get one here.
I mean, when Zavala lined it right to McElroy, the runners were already so far off base.
We knew. It was very possible. Ian Happ, one of the most effective hitters on the Bearcats team, grounded out to short in the second. The shortstop here with 1 out in the 4th, facing Charlie Law. And Law pumps it in for 1-1. I'll tell you, we know that Rob Samorel finds the zone often. We know that Tyler Gebler will give you length, but if Charlie Law can be this effective as he's ahead 1-2, Rutgers' rotation is something to watch out for. Starters in Big East play heading into the weekend had a 2.8 ERA and 60 innings of work. 1-2 from Law. Changeup missed away.
Interesting stat on the Rutgers pitching rotation coming into the weekend. 9th consecutive weekend with this exact same rotation.
Like that consistency. And on the softball side of things here at Rutgers, RU has played the same outfield trio in every game this year. Consistency across both programs as Happ stays alive and count is 2-2. That trio, Chandler Howard, Jackie Bates, and Lauren Williams, out in South Bend today for RU, taking on Notre Dame in a doubleheader. Happ a chopper toward Favitella. The true hop off the turf. There are 2 away.
Favitella took his time there. Happ with a little bit of speed, but was able to get the throw over to Herman for the out.
Luxury of being a second baseman. You have a little extra time to get the hop you absolutely want. Devin Wenzel, who walked in the second, was the first base runner for Cincinnati today. Chops it foul.
I mean, as a team, you get adversity, you get injuries, you suffer losing streaks. But the fact that Fred Hill has 3 starters he can trust going into a 3-game set with plenty of days to rest in between bodes well for your playoff chances.
And if not for Mitch Padishall's outstanding outing yesterday for Cincinnati, Rutgers could be looking for a sweep today. Charlie Law wants to know where that pitch was, and Melillo dropped it. It's probably on Jeff. He'll be the first to tell you. It's a great curveball that if Melillo catches and frames, we might be talking about an 0-2 count. Instead, it's 1-1.
Melillo definitely a battery mate that a starting pitcher would want. Good relationship with all starters here on the roster.
1-1 from Law. Great curve, great spot again. I mean, the breaking stuff from Charlie Law. We know the fastball's there because when you're 6'8" and you can put 6'8", 250 behind anything, it'll go fast. When the breaking ball is effective, he is tough. 2-2.
It's a good job there by Wenzel checking his swing. But going back to Melillo being a good battery mate for a pitcher, you have a 4-run lead. You're still going out to the mound just to be like, okay, my fault. Let's get it together and get out of this inning.
The 2-2 with 2 outs. Down the first base line, Herman does have room. And the big man makes the play to end the inning. So Charlie Law sits down Cincinnati in order in the 4th. Scarlet Knights 4, Cincinnati nothing after 3.5 on RVision, presented by AT&T.
Leading off for Rutgers.
4-0 RU as we go to the bottom of the fourth, and Danny Breslauer and Jay Goldstein join you from Bainton Field in Piscataway. Softball complex in the background there. We'll be back there on May 5th for the Pittsburgh game. Charlie Law, Rutgers starting pitcher, hitting in the DH spot today. Takes ball one high from Christian McElroy, who will come out for the fourth after struggling through three.
I think that triple play kept him in the game a bit longer.
Ended the third, a triple play that he started, but now behind Charlie Law, 2-0. We didn't even have a chance to really introduce Law as a hitter when he came up and lined a 3-run double down the left field line in the first to put Rutgers up 4-0, and tries to go that same way, and it's 2-1. But Law this year has been as good as advertised at the plate. .340, making his 28th start at either first or in the DH spot. Home run, 23 RBIs. And he'll pop that one up toward the Rutgers dugout. Long run for Wenzel, and it falls in front of the RU dugout for strike two. Now, before the bats changed, and it became the BB Core composite bats that are no longer the true metal, Charlie Law was a major home run hitter. A little bit of that juice has been taken away. He can still drive it.
He's got that power that is coveted on the major league level. There's no question.
Also doesn't hurt to be a 6'8" guy that can pitch the way he does. 2-2. Count is full. 7, 8, and 9 for Rutgers this inning. Law, Herman, Sweeney. And Law, does he offer? He does not. Charlie Law with a walk on another full count work by the Scarlet Knights.
That was a great job by Law checking his swing. The home plate umpire double checked. He did not go. So reach base for the second time this afternoon.
Fifth walk for McElroy. And now the second part of the basketball front court that is the Scarlet Knights Charlie Law, Bill Herman combination will step in. Both come in at 6'8", 245 or bigger. Herman will bunt. It's toward first. And again, the Rutgers job. Wenzel has to wait a moment for Hawk to get there. But they will make the 3-4 put out and move over Law.
Well, Herman, while he did lay down a nice bunt, not necessarily known for his speed. So
I think anybody else probably
beat
beats
that throw,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah. No offense, Bill Herman did his job. Bottom four, Rutgers leads Cincinnati and Christian McElroy 4-0. 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors for Rutgers, no runs on just 1 hit for Cincinnati, and no errors. The hit by New Jersey native Ryan Quinn. Pat Sweeney looks at a breaking ball low. Sweeney had a first pitch single in the second inning to lead off the inning.
Wasted no time at all to get on base, but was stranded.
Just his 19th hit of the year, hitting 182 coming into today. Sweeney takes ball 2 with the family pedigree that is Sweeney and Rutgers Athletics. Older brother Tim, former Rutgers shortstop. Father, former Scarlet Knight baseball and football player. 2-0 to Sweeney on the inside corner.
Despite his struggles at the plate, he is one of the mainstays in this lineup. You have the trust of Fred Hill, veteran leadership, speed coming out of the 9-hole.
Asking home plate umpire Scott Bova about that last pitch. Sweeney has started over 100 games in his career for Rutgers. At shortstop, he's ahead 3-1, continuing that family tradition. Tim was drafted by the Montreal Expos after the 2002 season. And Tom, the father, 1971 to 74 here, during some pretty good times for baseball and football. Sweeney a chopper towards short. Tough play for Happ. He'll throw it high. It's over. Wenzel scoring his Law on the E6, and Sweeney cruises into second, 5-0 Scarlet Knights.
And that was just a questionable throw from Quinn on third base. High, it forced Wenzel off the bag. Law coming around from second to score. That was a nicely hit ball, though, by Sweeney. Made it difficult for Cincinnati to track it down.
That's Happ who made that play and tried to throw across his body. And almost certainly one that he wants to have back. Teets toward left, and it settles into the glove of Glass. And he dropped it on the exchange. They'll call it an out and a drop on the exchange, and that's the correct call. Sweeney reached on the E6 and then moved up on the throw. Fred Hill thought that Justin Glass had dropped it on the catch period after Teets lined it out there.
And they did not give Sweeney a hit on that, Danny.
No. Happ, the unnecessary throw. As Fred Hill will kick around some dirt. Really not dirt, more like pebbles on the field turf surface here. 2 outs now in the bottom of the fourth after the run comes in on the error by Happ. Charlie Law scored. And taking strike one is Nick Favatella. Favatella is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Interestingly, the starting pitcher Charlie Law has been responsible for 4 of the 5 runs Rutgers has scored. Drove in 3 of them, scored the 4th.
And he's pitching really well.
Favatella in to left field for a base hit. Past a diving Happ. Here comes Sweeney. He scores. RBI single for Favatella. 6-0 Scarlet Knights.
Favatella put one right in the gap. Sweeney, being the speedy runner that he is, coming around from second to score. And Rutgers getting in another 2 runs to build on their lead here in the fourth.
Not a ton of activity currently in the Cincinnati pen. Brian O'Grady steps in after Favatella's 12th RBI of the campaign. 6-0 RU with 2 in this 4th inning. So Grady takes outside from McElroy, who may be more of a Sunday sacrificial lamb today to try to ease the bullpen. Charlie Law has been outstanding in his 4 innings. O'Grady takes strike one. And I'll tell you, Jay, if I'm Fred Hill, you had Rob Corsi, your only bullpen option, yesterday. I mean, that's excellent. 7 1/3 from Samorel, 1 2/3 from Corsi. Gebler goes all 9 in game 2. You're fresh, but Law, you use him as long as you can, as it's 1 2.
Well, you could look at a doubleheader as just one long 18-inning game. And the fact that they only use 3 pitchers over an 18-inning span, you know, if Law gets into any trouble, it's a plethora of pitchers to go to.
On first base is Favatella after his RBI single. And O'Grady swings and misses for strike 3. Good block and tag by Wallace. It is McElroy's 3rd strikeout, but the damage is done in the 4th. Scoring on an error was Law, and Favatella gets an RBI single. We have played 4. 6-0 Rutgers on RVision, presented by AT&T. There's a look at the scoreboard. Rutgers 6 runs on 6 hits and no errors, so looks like they officially did give the Scarlet Knights that hit from the previous inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error from Cincinnati. 4 runs in the first for Rutgers and 2 in the 4th to give Charlie Law a 6-run cushion.
So you credit Sweeney with the ribby as well then, as he plated Law.
Yeah, we'll do that count up in a second as Law deals ball 1 to Brendan Neal. Had a hit from Zerillo in the first, 1 from Law. That's 2. 3, Sweeney in the second. Zerillo in the third is 4. As Law deals up and away for ball 2. Favitella plus Sweeney. Good call, Jay, as Malillo will go talk to Law. So it's an RBI hit for Sweeney.
Who advanced to second on the throw.
Right, moves up to second on the E6.
Some scoring on the fly.
Ground ball towards short from Neal. Sweeney fields and fires for the first out. Charlie Law put him up, sit him down, let 1 base runner in the second on a walk, 2 on a walk and a hit in the third, but they were retired on a double play. Since then has retired 5 in a row.
Law getting a lot of his outs on ground outs, establishing a bit of reputation here this afternoon as a ground ball pitcher. Does have 3 strikeouts.
Woody Wallace, one of those strikeout victims, as Law throws it to the backstop for ball 1. He struck out to end the second inning, did the freshman catcher.
I think Fred Hill did save his bullpen today because Law on a bit of a short leash, as you said. His pitch count is high in a lot of his starts.
Not today.
Absolutely not.
Only hovering at about 50 here in the 5th. Wallace reached a bit, count even at 1.
Scarlet Knights make some great plays in the field so far in this 4 1/3 inning. Herman covering a lot of ground in foul territory to end the last inning. Teets, a couple of gorgeous grabs at third.
1-1 from Law is just away, 2-1.
Scarlet Knights relying on their fielding to help out Law.
Remember, when it comes to relief pitching, they often will try to only use Rob Corsi. He went 3 1/3 for a save against Seton Hall. Count now 3-1 to Woody Wallace. Then an inning and 2/3 for that save yesterday in game 1. So, if possible, they'd like to go starter to Corsi. Not always the case, but the ideal scenario. 3-1 away, and Law loses Woody Wallace. It is his 3rd walk.
Law had a bit of a struggle with his location during that at bat. His delivery going to the way outside of the box.
Last time these two teams played in a series before this weekend, April 27th through 29th of last year, Rutgers swept the series. Ryan Quinn 1-for-1 with a single. Takes strike 1 on a curve inside corner. On first is Woody Wallace, who walked. Rutgers leads Cincinnati 6-0 top 5 in game 3. The rubber game of this series between the Scarlet Knights and the Bearcats, and Law's second curve over the middle, 0-2.
Trying to get after Quinn was the only hit of the day for the Bearcats.
0-2 to Quinn, another breaking ball, and Quinn goes reaching. Strikeout number 4 for Charlie Law.
What was interesting to me, Danny, on that at-bat in particular was Law just one pitch after the other, not really taking too much time in between throws. He kind of picked up his pace just to get Quinn. Now we'll see how he attacks Hawk.
Over Law's shoulder, you saw the runner, Woody Wallace. Colin Hawk steps in, grounded into a double play in the second. Make that the 3rd inning, and takes a breaking ball, strike 1. I was mentioning to Jimmy Gill in between innings, the Rutgers Sports Information Director, Charlie Law, we know he has a fastball, but this breaking ball has just been unreal today, and now he's ahead 0-2. It's not just the down him. That'll come from throwing a good curve. It's the fact that he's got the wind helping him going left to right today, too. The 0-2, curveball, fouled off at the plate.
Well, the wind had to have had a factor in the Woody Wallace at bat. Walked him on 5 pitches. A lot of those balls were way outside. And then you see him go after Quinn and the way he's attacking Hawk right now. It's the opposite ends of the spectrum here when you refer to location.
Offense helping out Law today, too. 6 hits, and that one just foul. Hawk did not miss the line by much.
Well, as we said earlier, Danny, Law helped himself. He's plated 3 of the Scarlet Knights' 6 runs and scored on the 4th. So he, on both sides of the ball, has been very effective here in getting Rutgers out to the 6-0 lead.
Rutgers had a season-high 17 hits in its home opener against Columbia last Tuesday, and that one will hit Hawk. Something Charlie Law has done quite a bit this year, his 14th hit-by-pitch of the season. And it sets up first and second and 2 outs, and the lineup turns over.
Well, 2 of those coming in the loss to Seton Hall in the rubber game of last weekend's series. And, you know, if you're Charlie Law, you do not want to fall into that habit.
Ethan McAlpine, 0 for 1 with a walk, will be the hitter for Cincinnati in their first threat in a couple innings.
Well, with 2 away, it takes away any chance of a sacrifice to move the runners over.
We'll get the athletic trainer coming out to check on Colin Hawk, who took that one, it appears, in the arm. We'll give freshman Kevin Baxter a chance to replace a couple balls with home plate umpire Scott Bova. Charlie Law will hand on hip, wait for his chance to get back on the hill.
It didn't look like Hawk was hit too hard, but still, you don't want to take any chances as Coach Cleary now coming to check on this situation.
Law almost exclusively a hitter last year, coming off of Tommy John surgery. Went .273 with 2 home runs and 33 hits in 2012. He had that Tommy John surgery back in 2011 as things seemed to be okay with Hawk. It was 2010 when he was a pitcher for Rutgers. 3 appearances on the mound, but then got hurt. True freshman pitcher and first baseman in 09 as you get the Bainton Field setting. Former South Jersey Player of the Year by the Philadelphia Inquirer. Will face Ethan McAlpine. And he swings through that one. McAlpine, a .281 hitter, no home runs, 8 RBIs. Dangerous base stealer at 9 of 10. But it was Law who went 5-0 with a .66 ERA, going all-state as a senior. Curveball, good block, Malillo, 1-1. Law retired the Bearcats 1-2-3 in the first and fourth innings. Faced just 4 hitters in the second and third. First time he'll face 5 hitters in an inning right here. First and second, 2 outs. McAlpine, did he offer at the bunt? He did. 1-2 as McAlpine, really for no apparent reason there, looking to try to bunt for a hit.
That was a good call by the home plate umpire, so he did reach a bit.
All right, Law with a chance for a put-away pitch. 1-2, curveball, got him looking. Charlie Law's 5th K and second of the inning. It is a backwards one. Law threw 5 shutout innings. Scarlet Knights 6, Cincinnati nothing. On RVision, presented by AT&T. Credit to Christian McElroy. He's back out there for a 5th inning for Cincinnati, despite giving up a 4 spot in the first and 2 more in the 4th. Danny Breslauer, Jay Goldstein with you in Piscataway, New Jersey, for RVision presented by AT&T. Big East Baseball is Rutgers and Cincinnati in a rubber game split a doubleheader yesterday. It's Christian McElroy dealing to Vinny Zerillo. It's ball one low. The Scarlet Knights cleanup hitter and left fielder is 2 for 2. RBI single in the first and a run scored, and singled again to lead off the third inning. That off the glove of McElroy. The 1-0, curveball low, and where McElroy's curve has been at ankle level, Charlie Laws has been perfect at knee high. That's how he just struck out McAlpine to end the fifth. And Zerillo had 3-0.
It's the third consecutive at-bat that Zerillo got ahead of the count, and he got 2 hits off of both of those at-bats, so look for him to be aggressive here on the 3-0.
He's really emerged in the Rutgers lineup this year, forcing Fred Hill to put him in the cleanup spot. McElroy finds a strike. Sophomore from Forked River and Lacey High School.
So when's yours? After the vacation?
3-year letter winner there. Chops one toward first. Wenzel knocks it down, takes it himself for the first out.
It was a good job by Wenzel at first to put Zerillo away. The fact that he was hitting 350, Danny, coming into this game and was 2 for 2, I think it's a bit of a confidence booster for the Bearcats to retire Rutgers' hottest hitter.
Here's Jeff Melillo. No contact day, but he has been very active. 2 full count at bats that have gone 7 pitches or more. A strikeout and a walk for Melillo as he hits here bottom 5 and Rutgers up 6-0. Chops one foul. Melillo, 8 runs scored, 7 RBIs and 3 home runs last week. A candidate for the Senior Class Award. And the leader of the Cancer Foundation fundraiser that the team is taking part in. Jeff Melillo, community relations and charity work as the senior leader of this team. The 1-1 from McElroy is upstairs.
Getting it done both on and off the field. Melillo, to me, in this at-bat, looks a little more aggressive at the plate, the way that he's going after these pitches. Really made McElroy work in his first 2 at-bats.
But he's ahead 3-1 nonetheless. With 1 down in the 5th. Rutgers comfortably ahead 6-0. There is, again, action in the Cincinnati bullpen. It is the same pitcher that was down there an inning ago. That Matt Ring, the Muncie, Indiana native. And McElroy will lose Melillo for the second time today. For Christian McElroy, his 6th walk.
And that at-bat going quickly for Melillo. This is the first one of the day where the count was not full. Walked on a 3-1.
Well, Steve Zavala had a very out-of-the-ordinary at-bat as you get a look at Ring warming up for Cincinnati. Zavala lined into a triple play, the senior from Randolph did in his last at-bat, and this one will get away from Wallace. Wild pitch from McElroy, and Melillo to second base on that pitch.
Cruised right on into scoring position.
Steve Zavala giving Woody Wallace his mask back, and for good reason. Brother Michael is a catcher. He knows all about the trials and tribulations of that position. Steve himself used to be a pitcher when he first came into the program. And he's ahead 2-0. Zavala is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored in the first, and lined into your garden variety 1-6-3 triple play in the third inning. And Zavala toward left field. Justin Glass has it lined up toward the track, makes the play for the second out of the inning.
And a quick throw in to hold Melillo at second.
Well, why not? Charlie Law up with another opportunity for a run-producing situation. Law's 1 for 1. He had a 3 RBI double, bases clearing double in the first inning. And he walked and scored in the fourth, and they'll intentionally walk Charlie Law. Law has now walked 20 times this year after these 4 balls give McElroy his 7th walk of the day. And Law, Rutgers' starting pitcher, who has thrown 5 shutout innings of 1 hit ball, will get on base and bring up Bill Herman with runners on first and second. Oh, nearly a wild pitch from McElroy. Nice save by Woody Wallace. That would have allowed Melillo to third easily.
The first baseman, Bill Herman.
So a bit of a gamble here by Cleary. 2 on and 2 out for Herman.
Herman's 0 for 1. Popped out to first. Sack bunt. And that may be it. I think it'll be Ring against Herman. Here in the 5th inning, McElroy will go 4 2/3, give up 6 hits. But the book is not closed as the 2 runners on base are his responsibility. McElroy sprints to the bench. He'll walk 7 and strike out 3. And it will be a new pitcher for Cincinnati. Matt Ring. We'll tell you about him when we come back on RVision, presented by AT&T.
Ladies and gentlemen, now pitching for the Cincinnati Bearcats, right-hander number 21, Matt Ring.
Matt Ring, a redshirt sophomore, 5'11", 187 pounds, from Muncie, Indiana. That's the town where Ball State University is located. He's out of Yorktown High School. Ring making his 11th appearance, all out of the pen. 1-1, 4.4 ERA, and 14 1/3. He's given up 17 hits, struck out 8, and walked 6. Danny Breslauer, Jay Goldstein back with you at Bainton Field in Piscataway. Bottom 5, Rutgers 2 runners on and 2 outs. Jay, they lead Cincinnati 6-0 in the rubber game today.
And as I was saying before the break, bit of a gamble here. Intentionally walking Law. Herman with a chance to really break this game open, going against a new pitcher.
So it'll be Ring stepping in for McElroy, whose line is 4 2/3, 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, and the 2 on base are his responsibility as well. Ends up walking 8, striking out 3.
We're almost halfway through, and Rutgers already 8 drawn base on balls.
That through the legs of Wallace, another passed ball. Up to third is Melillo, second is Charlie Law. And now 2 runners in scoring position for Bill Herman. RU worked 10 walks in the opener yesterday, 8 more today, and Herman well on his way ahead 2-0. And now here, if you're Ring, you have to be careful. Because with first base open, Pat Sweeney is on deck and swinging a good bat today at 2 for 2. Herman takes the put me over for strike 1.
Big pitch from Ring, trying to fight back into this at bat, even the count here.
Bill Herman, Toms River North. Rutgers everyday first baseman a year ago, now splitting time with Charlie Law. Herman a chopper towards short. Happ got him. As coming off of first, it looked to me like Wenzel's foot was way off the bag, and that will be Fred Hill's argument, as it will go 6-3, says Harry Greer. Wenzel came leaning off of first by a mile, and Fred Hill wants to have a chat with the first base ump. Through 5, Rutgers 6, Cincinnati nothing on RVision, presented by AT&T. Fred Hill makes his way back to the dugout, got his piece in with Harry Greer at first. Jay, you and I talking in between innings. It looked to me like Wenzel's foot was clear off the bag as Charlie Law returns for inning number 6 and RU up 6-0.
Well, yeah, I mean, our fantastic camera work by our crew clearly showed that Wenzel's foot came off the bag, and there's just nothing that can be done about it. The call was made, and we head into the 6th.
Charlie Law has gone 5. He's given up just 1 hit. He's walked a couple. In fact, 3 to be exact. 2-3-4 for Cincinnati. 2-9 in the conference. 13-20 overall as Fred Hill continues to work on his notes in the RU dugout. Perrin, Glass, and Happ for Cincinnati. Rutgers 15-16, 7-4 in the Big East. 8 wins in the conference before tax day would be sensational. For those that don't know, get those checks out by tomorrow. Charlie Law, that's through his legs for the second hit of the day for Cincinnati as Perrin puts it right back where it came from.
Right between the legs of Law, Danny, as you said, only the second hit of the day for the Bearcats, but Perrin trying to start the rally for Cincinnati.
Fielder, Justin Glass.
Their most capable hitter, Justin Glass, will be the second hitter of the inning. Fort Wayne, Indiana native. Came into the weekend hitting .348. Takes strike 1 from Law.
Glass, though, Danny, having a bit of a frustrating afternoon at the plate.
Was named team captain December 3rd, but he's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. One flutters away to even the count at 1. Here's what Brian Cleary said about Glass. Justin was one of several strong leaders among the upperclassmen who this young team will rely upon for a daily example of how to play in hard and with great effort. We'll chop it foul to make it 1-2. Cincinnati's roster has 27 first and second year players. So to have your first team All Big East slugger in Glass, it's the first designated team captain for Cincinnati since 2010, when right-handed pitcher Tyler Smith held the title. The 1-2 missed away, 2-2. How did a pitcher get title of captain? That's tough.
Leadership.
1 out of every 4 or 5 days, and you're a captain.
Yeah, but it's not about always on the field activity. It's about how you handle, your clubhouse and.
True. Glass stays alive, 2-2. Still, you often hear hitters at the major league level will say it was hard to accept Justin Verlander being the MVP because he's only out there once every 5 days. But it was well deserved. I think most would, at the pundit level, say. Breaking ball, chopped foul down the first baseline. Perrin bluffed a steal attempt. For a Cincinnati team that loves to run, and Jay, we even were talking about it last week during the Seton Hall series about how much Cincinnati likes to run. They're 55 of 70 on the year. But Jeff Melillo has thrown out nearly 40% of base runners. That stymies a lot of thoughts.
You saw that last week with Seton Hall's leadoff hitter Zach Granick. Got caught twice in the first game.
Glass has worked the count full on Charlie Law. Perrin singled up the middle to lead off the 6th. Just the second hit today for Cincinnati. Rutgers had a 4 spot in the in the first inning, a 2 spot in the 4th. Full count. Glass lifts it to left. Under it easily is Zerillo for the first out.
And Glass's frustrations at the plate continue, Danny. He's now 0 for
The
3.
shortstop, Ian Happ.
His batting average down 15 points this weekend. So Rutgers has Justin Glass figured out. Ian Happ, who has had a couple of tough throws today, had one for an error that led to Charlie Law scoring, and then one that pulled Wenzel off the bag last inning. And Happ has his bat come flying out of his hands and nail Malillo. It's strike one as Jeff Malillo, waving off Fred Hill, is going to come out to check on his senior catcher. Well, Happ took a monster cut. That bat came flying out and cracked Malillo as Rob Piacentini, the athletic trainer, also gives Jeff a look.
This is a big, important stretch of the game for Charlie Law, Danny, because, you know, in the 6th inning, his pitch count's getting up there, facing the meat of this Bearcats order. Glass, Happ, and Wenzel account for 7 of the team's 9 home runs this year. Got to retire Glass on a fly ball to left.
And now Happ towards short. It's past Sweeney. Base hit for Ian Happ. He had been 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts, in Cincinnati in business with 2 runners on and 1 out.
First baseman,
Yeah, for the second time today, you see
Wenzel.
Cincinnati with 2 runners on. Law did a great job getting out of it last time.
Here's the long ball threat you spoke of, and Devin Wenzel as Malillo and Law talk things over.
I think with a 6-run lead, Danny, Fred Hill is giving Law a little bit of wiggle room, but still our eyes are on any activity in the Rutgers bullpen. None as of now, but we'll see if Law can get out of this jam.
Runner on first is Happ, who singled. Perrin singled to lead off the inning. He's on second. Devin Wenzel takes ball 1 high from Law. Wenzel walked in the second, popped out to first in the 4th.
Great play by Herman in foul territory. Snagged that one out of the air.
Right in front of our camera down the first base line. The 1-0 with 1 out. And Charlie has lost the plate a little bit here in the 6th.
That one was low and away. Wenzel with a good eye.
Rutgers played 23 straight road games to begin the season, most of any team in Division I. Come home since and kept their good times rolling, 7-4 in the Big East, but now they are behind in the count here with Law 3-0.
Come on, Jeffrey, give him that target.
It was Law that helped his own cause in hitting in the DH spot today as well with a 3-run double in the first. And now he has walked the bases loaded as Wenzel gets to first to go along with those 2 singles from Perrin and Happ.
And here comes Casey Gaynor.
Brendan Neal.
For good reason. The DH, Brendan Neal, is coming up. He's 0 for 2, but it's the first time that Casey sees something he doesn't like. Bullpen in action for Rutgers. It is Charlie Lasky, the junior from Freehold and Colts Neck High School.
R.J. Devish went to go catch him. Saw him grab his equipment. But I think Charlie Law's earned the right to try and get out of this with the way he's pitched today. I mean, he's given up 3 hits. 2 of them have come in this inning. So we'll see how he goes to attack Neal. Double play ball is in play.
Lasky, one of Rutgers' tall, imposing pitchers. Not as tall as Sam Hasty, who may actually be taller than Charlie Law and Bill Herman.
A lot of size on this team, as you alluded to.
Gaynor will head back to the dugout as Brendan Neal steps in. Bases loaded and 1 out for Cincinnati, and Law hits the knees with a curve.
Always that important first pitch to try and find the strike zone.
Neal flew out to center in the 2nd. Grounded out to short in the 5th. Hits again in the 6th. Law misses inside. Malillo liked it. Whether the spot or the pitch itself.
That was a good pitch, good breaking ball. Hung up there, just didn't find the zone as well as Law would have liked it to.
Fred Hill and his starters not afraid to stretch out. The 1-1 with 1 out. And that one gets by Malillo. A wild pitch will score a run. Charlie aimed it a bit. Perrin scores. Happ and Wenzel move up, and it's 6-1.
Charlie Law can't be too happy about losing the shutout. Still, the base is no longer loaded, but now those same 2 runners in scoring position.
Fred Hill trying to refocus Law with some words of encouragement from the bench and mentioning stretching out. Rob Samoro going 128 pitches yesterday. Tyler Gebler only needed 103 for a complete game. 2-1 to Neal is popped straight up in the infield. Major league pop-up for Favitella to snag, and that's 2 away. You know how tough that is in the wind?
Oh, yeah. Especially with the way the wind's blowing everything all over the place here in the booth.
The catcher.
Favitella, though, good awareness.
Made it look simple.
Shielding the sun, which is always a factor here in these afternoon games.
Woody Wallace 0 for 1, walk and a strikeout. Charlie Law trying to limit the damage here in the 6th. Just that 1 run in on a wild pitch. For Charlie, his 5th wild pitch of the season. And a fly ball by Wallace out toward right. Sizing it up is Zavala, and that does it. So Charlie Law loads the bases, throws a wild pitch, but then gets 2 pop fly outs to end the 6th inning. They played 5.5, Rutgers 6, Cincinnati 1 on RVision, presented by AT&T. Party out on the hill. Bottom of the 6th inning. Rutgers leading Cincinnati 6-1 at Baton Field and Piscataway. There's your line score. Pat Sweeney, Matt Tietz, Nick Favitella at 9-1-2. Due up for Rutgers in the 6th. Danny Breslauer, Jay Goldstein with you on ScarletKnights.com today. Lots of action in the Rutgers Athletics family yesterday. We'll get into in a moment. As Ring in his return outing after coming in relief of Christian McElroy to end the 5th. Got Bill Herman to ground out. Bounced that one all the way to the backstop. 2-0 as Sweeney's ahead in the count. He singled and scored in the 4th. Went over to second on an error by Happ. Singled in the 2nd as well, so he's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Rings 2-0 as a strike. Yesterday, Rutgers women's lacrosse knocking off Villanova 9-6. 2 goals and assists from Katrina Martinelli to lead the way. RU's defense number 2 in the nation in women's lacrosse. Head 3-1. Men's lacrosse, a valiant effort at the Carrier Dome against number 7 Syracuse. Led 10-5 in the 4th. Fell on a last 10 seconds goal, 12-11. And Sweeney works a 5-pitch walk to lead off the 6th inning. Sweeney's been on base all 3 times.
We'll see how short Ring's leash is here for the Bearcats. This is his 11th appearance of the season. Has only gone 14 in the 3rd innings coming into today.
There is action down the 3rd baseline in the Cincinnati pen. Austin Pritchard, freshman righty. Matt Tietz squares to bunt and takes ball one. It's been a good day for Tietz all around, at least getting the job done. He did line out in the fourth. That's his only official at bat because he has a sac bunt and a walk and a run. But some excellent glove work, started a double play as well as a putout. Bunt down the first base line, Wenzel fields, and for the second time today, a 3 unassisted sac bunt for Matt Tietz. And he moves up Sweeney for the second time.
If you're Fred Hill, you're very happy with what Tietz has done today. Made some great plays in the field, as you said, and getting the job done behind the plate. Does have the one fly out, but he has 2 sacrifices, getting his runners over, and he walked and he scored a run. I mean, what more can you ask out of your leadoff hitter?
Now Ring will have to work out of the stretch with a runner in scoring position, and Nick Favatella, who singled in a run in the fourth. 1 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout as well. Favatella takes ball one. He came into Rutgers with quite a bit of expectation out of Washington Township High School. And Rutgers middle infielders coming out of that South Jersey school have been pretty darn good. There was a kid named Dan Betteridge who manned short for 4 years. As Favatella takes strike one, and it looks like Favatella will do the same thing for 4 years out of the middle infield. Betteridge was as sure-handed as they came. Favatella was the only Scarlet to start every single game last year. He's doing it again this year. Down the right field line for Favatella. It's into the corner. Perrin is chasing. He'll slide to make the play, but Sweeney scores easily on Favatella's stand-up double to put Rutgers up 7-1.
That was probably the nicest hit of the day outside of Law's bases clearing double. Favatella really went away right down the right field corner. Plated Sweeney. Rutgers getting that run back, and the lead's back up to 6.
Favatella went with the pitch, second RBI today, 13th of the year. And now Ring will have to pitch to O'Grady. Brian O'Grady is 0 for 2 and takes strike one. He walked and scored in the first as the 2 number 21s will duke it out. Grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the second and struck out in the fourth. Favatella's on second with 1 out in the sixth, and O'Grady pops it up to center field. McAlpine, Wynn takes it, and he'll go get it. 2 away.
That could have gotten scary. You saw McAlpine turn on the Jets just to flag that one down and make the catch.
Rutgers answers Cincinnati's run from the sixth that came on a Charlie Law wild pitch. Law has gone 6 innings, giving up 3 hits and just 1 run. By the way, Christian McElroy's line, the starting pitcher for Cincinnati today, closed at 4 2/3, gave up 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 3 strikeouts and 8 walks. Matt Ring now on in relief. And Vinny Zerillo takes ball one. Go ahead, Jay.
No, go ahead.
Zerillo's 2 for 3 with an RBI.
No, that's important. I was going to say, Woody Wallace has had quite the busy day, with the wind definitely having an effect on the pitches. A couple of pass balls allowing runners to advance. A lot of nice blocks in the dirt to prevent pass balls.
Zerillo also scored a run in the first. And he's ahead in the count, 2-0. Singled and scored in the first, singled in the third, grounded out the first in the fifth. He'll hit in the sixth, and Rutgers up 7-1. Chopper towards second, easy for Hawk. And Zerillo hustling is thrown out to end the inning. But Rutgers gets another run on an RBI double by Nick Favatella. And the Scarlet Knights lead 7-1 after 6 innings on RVision, presented by AT&T.
And every Scarlet Knights game is tuned to RVision, presented by AT&T, the official wireless carrier of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, for exclusive video telecasts of Rutgers Olympic spring sports, including your Scarlet Knights baseball team. It's all there for you on Channel 16 on the RUTV network and online at ScarletKnights.com. RVision, your exclusive Scarlet Knights video source.
Well, perhaps Charlie Law's final inning of work coming up. He's got 94 pitches heading into the 7th inning, but he has been very effective. 6 innings of 3-hit ball for the Scarlet Knights senior pitcher, who returns to the bump to face 8, 9, and 1 in Cincinnati's order in the 7th. Scarlet Knights 7, Bearcats 1 in the rubber game of 3 to this series. Danny Breslauer, Jay Goldstein here with you. Cincinnati second to last in the Big East at 2 and 9. As Quinn lines it up the middle, coming on O'Grady, makes the play.
And that definitely helped his call as 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
The second baseman,
Keeping the Scarlet Knight bullpen at bay.
That is for sure. In the doubleheader yesterday, Samorel 7 1/3, 128 pitches. And Rob Corsi a 1 2/3 inning save before Tyler Gebler, a complete game loss in game 2. Colin Hawk pops it up behind the plate. Malillo got it. Oh, dropped it. Had it in his glove, and then going to the ground, had it pop out. He's covering his eyes with his glove, shielding from the sun as he was running back to the first base side. And I jumped the gun as it came out of his glove right in front of the Rutgers dugout.
Yeah, he did make the catch, and then he dropped it in foul territory. But great effort by Malillo. Him, Law, and Herman covered a lot of ground right in front of the center of the Rutgers dugout. Just wasn't able to hold it in.
0-1 to Hawk is upstairs. Charlie Law has broke off that curveball extremely well today.
Anytime you get a chance to rest your bullpen, you do it. So try and maximize Law's pitch count in the latter innings.
1-1 to Hawk. He pops that up. Third base side. Teets gives it a look. It's out of play. Christian McElroy, 4 2/3, largely ineffective. He walked 8. Charlie Law's been excellent. He also has a 3 RBI double to his name. And Vinny Zerillo has an RBI single. Pat Sweeney has an RBI single. Nick Favatello with an RBI double and an RBI single. Law's ahead of the 9-hitter Hawk 1 2 with 1 out in the 7th. Line drive toward Zerillo and left. Simple, and there are 2 away.
So I think it's safe to say that Law is hovering right above the century mark in pitches. So if he could just get out of this 7th.
Probably it. Charlie Lasky had been warming up in the pen for Rutgers. This pitch right here will be pitch number 100 for Charlie Law to Ethan McAlpine. Ground ball the 3rd. How about that? Law throws 100 pitches as Teets throws on to Herman to end the inning. Law goes 7 and gives up 3 hits. We have hit the 7th inning stretch. Rutgers 7, Cincinnati 1 on RVision, presented by AT&T.
So get on up, stretch out, and join us for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Your message please, ladies and gentlemen. Now pitching for Cincinnati, right-hander number 46, Brent Walker.
Gave up 1 hit, walked 1.
He's 101, 2.53.
Third pitcher of the day for Cincinnati comes out in the bottom of the 7th inning in the form of Grant Walker, the sophomore from Brookville, Ohio, and Northmont High School. The 6'3", 178-pound sophomore Walker will be in relief of Matt Ring, who went 1 1/3. gave up 1 hit, 1 earned run, that the Nick Favatella double, and he walked 1. And there is Walker out of the pen, 1-1 with a 2.53 ERA, his 8th appearance. Just 10 2/3 innings pitched, has struck out 6 and walked 3. They'll face Jeff Melillo, Steve Zavala, and Charlie Law. Remember, even if Law does not pitch, he can hit in the DH spot.
That was a very impressive 6-pitch 7th inning for Charlie Law.
100 pitches exactly for the Scarlet Knights senior. Walker to Melillo, that had some heat at the knees for strike 1. Jeff is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout and a pair of walks. Walker, perhaps the most zip on the pitches that we've seen today, count even at 1.
You know, the way Law's been pitching, I would consider letting him start the 8th, not necessarily finishing. I mean, Gebler went over 100 yesterday.
1 and 2 now. I tend to agree.
I'm not saying let him go the distance, just get a feel for how he'll respond in the 8th, just to continue resting your bullpen. I mean, if you can get 1 or 2 outs in the 8th and Lasky close the door, then so be it.
He is a full 1.5 years removed from Tommy John. Melillo chops it away. You just have to wonder, in a 7-1 game, we know Fred Hill has faith in a couple of options down there. Nate Rowe, Charlie Lasky, Rob Corsi, who I'd imagine, despite the 1 2/3 yesterday, is available. 1-2 to Melillo is a pop-up towards short. Happ into the outfield makes the play for the first out.
First time Melillo was retired, Danny, since the first inning, drew 2 walks, sandwiched between a strikeout and a pop-out. But I think, you know, barring a save situation or if Cincinnati takes the lead, I think you give Corsi the day off. You have 2 midweek games at Lafayette, home against Monmouth on Wednesday, which you and I are doing. And then you're heading to Pittsburgh next weekend. You want to have your bullpen rested.
Strike 1 to Steve Zavala. He walked and scored in the first, lined into a triple play. Cincinnati's first triple play turned in 8 years in the 3rd inning. He flew out to left in the 5th. Fouls it away to make it 0-2. Around the Big East today, Notre Dame at Pitt, Connecticut at Villanova, Alcorn State at USF, St. John's at Georgetown, Elon at Louisville, Seton Hall at top 25 Houston. They have split the first 2 games of that series. John Prozinski for Seton Hall, the Big East Pitcher of the Year. Another ridiculous outing against the Cougars. The 0-2 down the middle for strike 3 as Zavala is down looking against Walker.
We got to see Brzezinski firsthand and how he just tore through the Scarlet Knights lineup in that 15-1 loss to the Pirates in the series opener back on April the 5th.
It was good enough to get him on the Big East honor roll. Struck out 7, allowed 6 hits in that game.
You saw the respect that he showed from Melillo as a hitter.
Yep, he did. Charlie Law tries to hit that one off the new dormitories on Livingston campus. It swings through it for strike 1. Law, who's most likely done pitching for the day based on that swing, has hit a bases-clearing double. Walked and scored in the 4th and was intentionally walked in the 5th. So 1 for 1 for Charlie Law with 3 RBIs and a run. Ground ball down the line, just foul. Quinn gave an offering at it. Right on top of it was Tom Scartozzi.
Charlie Law, a fan of the 3rd baseline. It's where the bases clearing double that Danny just talked about went in the 1st.
And Jay, you alluded to our upcoming RVision schedule. We'll have Rutgers Monmouth baseball on Wednesday at 3:30. Dean Ehalt, one of the legends of the profession, the head coach of the Hawks. That just missed upstairs for Walker, count even at 2.
Umpire gave that a long look.
Yep.
Just missed.
Ehalt will lead the Hawks in here on Wednesday. That's a 3:30 first pitch, a little bit later. 2-2 to Law is fouled back. And then after that, we return for the Friday and Saturday games of the Connecticut series, May 3rd and 4th. And then the season-ending doubleheader on Mother's Day against Georgetown at 1 and 4 p.m. It's May 12th. 2-2 from Walker. In the dirt, Law did offer. He strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Grant Walker to end the 7th. Rutgers goes down 1-2-3 for the first time today. RU 7, Cincinnati 1. As we go to the 8th on RVision, presented by AT&T.
In Louisville, Kentucky, the Louisville Cardinals lead Elon 4-0 in the bottom of the 7th. In the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, final score, the Pittsburgh Panthers defeating the Notre Dame Fighting Irish 12-3. Out in Texas, the Seton Hall Pirates defeated the Houston Cougars 11-0. Just outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Villanova trails Connecticut by a score of 5-4 in the bottom of the 7th. In our nation's capital of Washington, D.C., St. John's leads Georgetown in the bottom of the 5th by a score of 8-1. And in Tampa, USF leads Alcorn State by a score of 7-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Charlie Law will return for the 8th inning. He's given up just 3 hits and 1 run. As we return to Baton Field and Piscataway, top 8, Scarlet Knights 7, and Cincinnati 1. Out-of-town scores for you involving Big East teams. Louisville leads Elon 4-0, bottom 7. Alcorn State trailing USF, bottom 5 in Tampa, 7-0. And out of conference, Seton Hall 11, Houston 0. Top 6 down in Texas. Seton Hall looking for 2 of 3 over a top 25 team. Big East final, Pittsburgh beats Notre Dame 12-3.
The right fielder.
That a big one for Pittsburgh, which now improves to 6-3 in the Big East. Connecticut leads Villanova 5-4 and Philly bottom 7. St. John's up 8-1 bottom 5 at Georgetown. That rounds it out. Charlie Law deals curveball low to Forrest Perrin. 2, 3, and 4 for Cincinnati here in the 8th. Last time through the meet.
Still, it's always a good sign paying attention to the Big East standings this late in the season. And if Louisville and USF hold on, a win here for Rutgers would be important to keep them 2 games back in the loss column.
Remember those 2 out-of-conference games today for Louisville and USF. Perrin to Law, 1 down.
And Law, even though he's over 100 pitches, just continues to throw the heat. Had a few location issues. You can credit that to the wind. Law has had some trouble all season long, though.
If you're just joining us, Charlie Law was outstanding through 5 innings. Got into a little bit of trouble in the 6th. Loaded the bases through a wild pitch, but held Cincy right there. As Justin Glass steps in 0 for 3 and takes ball 1 from Law. Rutgers scoring came by way of 4 runs in the 1st inning. RBI single from Vinny Zerillo, bases clearing double from Law, who's also DHing today. Now behind 2-0. RU added 2 in the 4th. RBI singles by Pat Sweeney and Nick Favatella. Favatella had an RBI double in the 6th. Pat Sweeney has a 2-for-2 day going. Glass toward Favatella, and there are 2 down.
Justin Glass, barring another at-bat, will finish his day 0 for 4. I think in the scouting report, Rutgers was really keying in on shutting him down, trying to win this series 2-1, and that's what they did.
Well, if Ian Happ does not work Charlie Law a bit in this at-bat, and Happ is 1 for 3 with a single and 2 groundouts, Charlie could come out for the 9th at this rate.
Well, I mean, we made a pretty solid argument about him coming out for this inning, and so far he's proved our argument right with 2 away early. I think what's helped Law is the fact that they're swinging early in pitch counts.
Right at around 110 pitches for Charlie. Behind 2-0 to Happ.
He's a workhorse, though. Very impressive outing today by Law.
He's behind 3-0, came off the mound. A little bit of frustration. Had just a 6.12 ERA coming into today. Was hit around a little bit on Sunday by Seton Hall last week.
Well, if Fred Hill wants to pull Law, Lasky is ready.
Count 3-1.
And I think that pitch saved him. 4-pitch walk, never a good sign. With Fred Hill showing faith in his hurler.
And he missed. Ball 4. To first goes Ian Happ. Devin Wenzel comes up, and Fred Hill has the decision.
First baseman.
Charlie Lasky is
Devin
ready down in the pen.
Wenzel.
And Wenzel will step in for the Bearcats. He is 0 for 1, popped out and walked twice.
I think one way or another, Danny, this will be Law's last hitter. If he gets out of the inning, then we'll go to the bottom.
Misses low with a fastball.
But if Wenzel somehow gets on base with 2 away, I think we'll see Lasky coming in.
Come on, Charlie.
Chopper toward third. Matt Teets. Easy play across the diamond, and Charlie Law gets through 8 innings of 3-hit ball. Rutgers 7, Cincinnati 1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th on RVision.
Not yet. Daddy wants to score.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Now pitching for the Cincinnati Bearcats, right hander, number 34, Ryan Atkinson.
Bottom of the 8th, Ryan Atkinson will be the pitcher for Cincinnati. Before we give you the details on him, Charlie Law just finished up 8 innings, Jay Goldstein. It's his career high. He pitched 8 back on March 23rd of this year against Louisville in a 6-hit, 1-run outing and a big win over the top 5 Cardinals. As you see, Charlie Lasky, who's been warming up for a while, he's ready for the 9th. Also of note, back on March 28, 2009, Charlie Law's first career win was against Cincinnati, and it came in a 6 2/3 outing. But Charlie Law goes 8 innings of 3-hit, 1-run ball today.
Well, he's had it all, both sides of the plate. Gave himself a 4-run lead with a 3-run bases-clearing double in the bottom of the first inning, and has just been lights out today. Had a couple of slip-ups, but overall, Danny, fantastic day for Law on both sides of the plate.
Ryan Atkinson, the new pitcher for Cincinnati, the sophomore from Cincinnati, Ohio, and Coleraine High School. 9th appearance, all out of the pen, a 6.75 ERA and no decisions. He's thrown just 5 1/3, striking out 4, walking 8. Very effective inning for Grant Walker. Struck out 2, didn't give anything up in a 1-2-3 shutdown of Rutgers in the 7th. Bill Herman takes low. Herman, Sweeney, Teets due up for Rutgers in the 8th.
Herman, one of the couple Scarlet Knights hitters today without a hit.
8 of 9 Scarlet Knights reached base in Game 1 yesterday in the 6-1 W. Herman has popped out to first, had a sac bunt, and grounded out to short. So 0 for 2. Good piece of composite bat on that one down the third base line.
That one.
You can't say good piece of metal anymore.
No.
It's obviously not wood. So we'll say good piece of composite bat.
I mean, the bats have come up in conversation every game we've done so far this season, Danny. And
it's been the last couple of years.
It's changed the game.
And Herman takes strike 3 outside corner. So Atkinson continues Walker's streak of strikeouts. Walker had sat down Zavala and Law by K to end the 7th, and now Herman to start the 8th.
Well, 6 of 9 Scarlet Knights have struck out today to the 4 Cincinnati pitchers that have been on the mound.
Hasn't mattered, though, as Charlie Law has thrown 8 innings, given up just 3 hits, 1 run, as Pat Sweeney takes strike 1. He's 2 for 2 with a walk and 2 runs scored and an RBI.
So there's no way you see Law coming out for the 9th.
I do not. Charlie has walked 5 hitters as well. Ball low from Atkinson. He also struck out 5.
It's a good breaking ball there by Atkinson, but better eye by Pat Sweeney.
Change up by Atkinson inside corner, gets ahead 1-2. And I think more so than anything, Jay, a reason why we won't see Law for the ninth is the bullpen hasn't been used. So Fred Hill wants to get a guy like Lasky, who he may need to rely on for a couple innings on Wednesday against Monmouth. Maybe a chance to see what he can do. And that's the inside corner, strike 3. 4 straight Scarlet Knights down on strikes, 3 of them looking.
Well, they have exercised patience at the plate all afternoon long, and sometimes that does backfire. As you saw Zavala last time up, Herman and Sweeney will go down looking, as Danny said. Law took a nice cut, struck out swinging last time up.
A couple of midweek options we could see on Wednesday. No official starter announced yet. Slater, McHugh, Pat O'Leary, the guys that we expect to see, as Teets pops that one up. And it gets out of play. Excellent work by producer-director Colin Osborne, moving the Winnebago to behind home plate today. The Scarlet Express that would have nailed it.
Good luck to her. Oh my goodness.
I did notice walking in here that the Winnebago is more up than it usually is.
Got it closer to directly behind home plate. More of a logistics thing than anything else. Fouled away again by Teets. He is officially 0 for 1. Lined out, 2 sack bunts, a walk and a run. Good play in the field, too. Upcoming RVision schedule. Next weekend, it is a big, big lacrosse weekend on RVision. After Wednesday's baseball game, we have Duke at Rutgers men's lacrosse, 7 p.m. Saturday night at Yersack Field. Atkinson deals 0-2 low. And then 1 p.m. Sunday, quick turnaround at the RU Turf Field. Rutgers against Loyola Maryland women's lacrosse. 2 excellent matchups in the span of about 17 hours.
Careful. Careful.
1-2 from Atkinson to Teets. Ground ball foul. We're here in the bottom of the 8th. Rutgers scored 4 in the first, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th. Cincinnati's only run came in the 6th inning on a wild pitch by Charlie Law, who has been excellent across 8 innings.
Okay. Ready? Go. One of those today.
Both pitching and hitting in the DH spot.
There?
And Teets down swinging. Good work from both Walker and Atkinson in relief for Cincinnati as they strike out the last 5 Scarlet Knights. Rutgers goes down 1-2-3 for the 2nd straight inning, but they take a 6-run lead to the 9th on RVision, presented by AT&T.
Your hits and threes, ladies and gentlemen. Now pitching for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, number 45, Charlie Lasky.
The 9th inning. He is the junior, 6'3", 230 pounds from Freehold, Colts Neck High School.
Law getting a much-needed rest in the Rutgers dugout, Danny. Great outing for him.
He'll be done most likely at the plate today as well, as Rutgers shouldn't have to come up again. Charlie Lasky making his 11th appearance all out of the pen. He's 1-0 with a 3.52 ERA. 15 1/3 innings, less than a hit per inning at 13, 11 strikeouts and 6 walks. 6, 7, and 8 for the Bearcats. Brendan Neal, Woody Wallace, and Ryan Quinn. Jay, you have the final line for Charlie Law.
Yeah, absolutely. 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned.
Pop up by Neal toward right. Coming on to make the play is Steve Zavala.
So now that we have one away, I'll reread that. An 8 innings pitch for Charlie Law. Gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, walked 5, struck out 5, and it is in line for a decision, Danny. Came in with a ERA over 6, had to have helped his cause today. Trying to lower that as the postseason draws nearer.
Well, it will improve as Woody Wallace has to spin out of the way of that from Lasky. And that caught the home plate umpire, Scott Bova, clean.
Wallace had to fully bend over frontwards to avoid that one. That was a bit of a slip-up as Fred Hill comes out to check on him.
Got him in the shoulder, said Scott Bova, telling trainer Rob. Rob getting his cheers as he comes out to check on the home plate umpire.
Rightfully so.
Rob's a hard-working man, let me tell you.
Very crucial.
He does an excellent job with the women's soccer program, too. We see him during many of those broadcasts. Thankfully, not as much over the past few years after women's soccer, I should say, had that ACL epidemic a couple of years ago. Lasky behind 2-0 to Wallace, who is 0 for 2 with a fly out, a strikeout, and a walk.
I think the ACL epidemic has moved from women's soccer to the NBA.
Or Achilles, in the case of Kobe Bryant.
Right. Iman Shumpert, Rajon Rondo, Derrick Rose all going down in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
ACL is a scary thing.
Yes, it is. 3-0. And Lasky again misses Wallace, and it'll be a walk.
You know when the ball comes in and hits the backstop and you kind of grimace?
Yeah.
I just grimaced on that delivery. I mean, it's scary, but Lasky did get Neal to retire on a pop-out.
Scott Bova, I think, got caught with that again, by the way, the home plate umpire.
Yeah, that's why I grimaced.
Yeah. Jeff Melillo, 98% of the time, is going to catch that, but crossed up with Lasky. And it will bring up Quinn, the Jersey native, as Lasky gives up his 7th walk of the year with 1 out in the 9th, and Rutgers up 7-1 on Cincinnati, looking to win another Big East series. Strike 1 to Quinn, who is 1 for 3 with a single. Rutgers took a Big East series from Louisville 2 of 3, swept Villanova in 3, lost 1 to Seton Hall 2-1. And I told you, I said, win 2 out of 3 in every series and you're going to win the conference. That's normally the way it works.
Yeah, I'm sure that Seton Hall series, they'd like to have that back. But other than that, they've played really well in conference.
Excellent breaking ball from Lasky. Strike 2.
It's good to see Lasky settle down on this at-bat going against Quinn. A bit of a scary at-bat to the catcher, Woody Wallace, who's now on first.
Rutgers last in the NCAA tournament 2007, trying to even their record today at 16-16, but Quinn punches that into the gap in right center. Zavala plays it there. On to third will be Wallace, as it is a long single for Ryan Quinn, his 2nd hit today.
Yeah, my eyes were on Wallace as he kind of turned on the Jets rounding second, but that was a good job by Zavala getting that ball in to hold Wallace at third.
Long walk from Fred Hill, and that means he has seen enough from Charlie Lasky, who puts on 2 runners and retires just 1 hitter in relief of Charlie Law after 8 outstanding innings of work. Well, you mentioned a day off for Rob Corsi. Forget that. Here he comes after this. If Fred Hill decides to make the pull, because he's the one warming up in the pen right now for Rutgers. An inning and 2/3 saves. Oh, Fred Hill liked what he heard from Charlie Lasky. So he'll stick around after the long walk, which is normally the indicator that he's making a change.
Could have had us fooled. But, you know, the 6-run ball game, 1 away, double play ball is in effect, and I think Fred Hill just wanted to give him a chance.
Corsi's up throwing nonetheless. And Colin Hawk, the 9-hitter, he's 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Runners on the corners and 1 out. Lasky deals strike 1 down the middle. Hawk grounded into a double play in the third. It was a great play by Matt Tietz. Hit by a pitch in the fifth. Lined out in the seventh. 0-1 with one out. Breaking ball settles in 0-2.
And I think Lasky just needed that talking to from Fred Hill. Followed up that meeting with two very good called strikes right up the middle.
Misses away 1-2.
It's a strategic pitch there by Lasky, trying to get Hawk to chase outside. Tactic used by many pitchers. Hawk didn't bite.
1-2. Floats one into the dirt. For Charlie Lasky, who appeared in 16 games out of the bullpen last year, getting 3 wins. Struck out more than a batter per inning. Pitched in the Big East tournament as well. 3-year varsity letter winner at Colts Neck High School. Missed the corner, count is full.
A lot of encouragement from the crowd here at Beaton. Trying to root on Charlie. That one just missed, though, Danny, to make the count full.
The 2-time all-conference pick, Lasky, in high school. Full count with 1 out, and he got him swinging as Colin Hawk went chasing for Lasky's first K.
That's exactly what he needed. That takes away any chance of a sacrifice. Cincinnati is going to come back into this game. They have to do it with just 1 out to spare.
Last chance is Ethan McAlpine. Galpine is 0 for 3 with a walk, a strikeout, a pair of groundouts. 2 outs in the 9th. Rutgers leads 7-1. Cincinnati runners on the corners and 2 outs. Lasky down the middle for strike 1. Charlie Law went 8 innings and gave up 3 hits. Just 1 run on a wild pitch. He also had a 3-run double. One of the Scarlet Knights' 7 hits. Lasky misses away. Favatella had 2 RBI hits, a double and a single. Sweeney and Zarillo, the other RBI singles.
Come on, Jeffrey.
Good all-around day for this Rutgers team. This is what they needed.
And the 1-1 will hit McAlpine as Lasky, having trouble finding the zone, it loads the bases with 2 outs.
Well, that wasn't what Rutgers needed. I was talking about the overall outing, but
The right fielder.
now with the bases loaded, one big hit from the Bearcats could put them within striking distance.
No doubt about it. Tying runs in the hole. The Bearcats down 6 and the bases loaded and 2 outs, and Forrest Perrin takes ball 1 away from Lasky. Perrin is 1 for 4, singled and scored in the 6th, the only Bearcat run. Grounded out twice, lined out in the 1st. And Lasky again hits Perrin. 2 hit-by pitches and a walk in the inning for Lasky. Scoring on the play is Wallace, and it's 7-2. The bases remain loaded as Charlie Lasky is struggling to find the plate. And that's it. Fred Hill makes his 2nd walk out there, and in a 7-2 game, he will go to the bullpen and his closer, Rob Corsi. Bases loaded, and believe it or not, the tying run is on deck. 7-2 Scarlet Knights lead in the 9th inning here on RVision.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, now pitching for your Rutgers Scarlet Knights, left-hander number 12, Rob Corsi.
And then he got Hawk. Hit by a pitch.
Corsi. Now, this would be tying runs on deck. So, and the Rob Corsi comes on with 2 outs in the 9th. The senior from Oceanport, New Jersey, Shore Regional High School, transferred in from Duquesne. He has picked up a save in each of the last 4 times he has pitched. Today would be the 5th because, in a quirk of this, with the tying run on deck, this is a save situation. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 9th inning. Rutgers leads Cincinnati 7-2 after the Bearcats have one across here in the 9th against Charlie Lasky, who was in relief of Charlie Law. Danny Breslauer, Jay Goldstein here with you.
Of course, he has his work cut out for him with the 3, 4, and 5 hitters potentially coming up here. One thing in Rutgers' favor, Justin Glass today, 0 for 4.
And it will be the first team All-Big East man, Glass, who has struck out twice, flown out and grounded out, but that was all against Charlie Law. Now it's against Rob Corsi, 2-3 with a 3.12. His 15th appearance, all out of the pen. He has 5 saves, 26 innings, the most for a Scarletite out of the bullpen, 25 hits, 17 strikeouts, and 11 walks. There is Justin Glass. He hits with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 9th inning in a 7-2 Rutgers lead. Corsi looking for his 6th save of 2013. First pitch fastball is low.
And Rutgers looking to get back to the 500 mark. A win today would put them back at 16-16.
Midweek games coming up against Lafayette and Monmouth. 1-0 from Corsi is fouled away. Glass struck out in the 1st and 4th, flew out to left in the 6th, grounded out to 2nd in the 8th. Came into the weekend hitting .348. He is now under .330. Bases loaded with 2 outs in the 9th. Corsi deals a strike down the middle, and Cincy is down to its last strike.
Justin Glass not too thrilled with that call.
Again, Corsi looking for a save in his 5th consecutive outing. The 1-2. Ground ball to 2nd on 2 hops for Favitella, and that does it. Rutgers defeats Cincinnati 7-2 and takes down the Bearcats for the 4th time in as many series.
Well, things got a bit interesting here in the 9th, Danny, as the tying run was on deck, but Charlie Law, great 8-inning outing. He'll get the win. Rob Corsi coming on, 1 and 2, a third of an inning, gets the save. Charlie Law responsible for 3 of the Rutgers 7 runs. Just an overall great day for the Scarlet Knights as they get back to that 500 mark.
Rutgers improves with the 7-2 win to 16-16, now 8-4 in the Big East, keeping pace with the leaders. Cincinnati falls to 13-21, 2-10 in conference. They have yet to win a Big East series this year. Charlie Law the win, 8 innings of 3-hit ball, and he actually ends up getting the game-winning hit with his 3-run double that cleared the bases in the 1st. Thank yous to send out to our entire RVision crew. For Colin Osborne, our producer-director, and for Jay Goldstein, I'm Danny Breslauer. Next RVision broadcast Wednesday afternoon at 3:30 when Monmouth visits Bainton Field to take on Rutgers baseball. Here on RVision, presented by AT&T.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Rutgers